Hello student, welcome back to another session of Electronics Paper 1 Applied Electronics. So let us start. So we are already started with chapter number 2 Power Supply. We have seen 3 sessions up to now. In session 1 we have seen the block diagram of regulated DC power supply. We have seen the block diagram, first block, that is your transformer, that followed by a rectifier, different types of rectifier, half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier and bridge rectifier with their circuit diagram, waveforms and workings. In second session, we have seen the parameters of half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier and bridge rectifier and comparison between these rectifiers. In third session, we have seen the filters, the next block, transformer, rectifier and third block in third session we have seen, that is filter. Once we get an unidirectional signal, then by filtering the AC component or the ripple, we get a pure DC. So there are we have seen different type of filters, that is the capacitor filter, inductor filter, then in combination, that is capacitor inductor filter, then resistor capacitor filter, pi filter and T filter in last session. So today we are starting with the next session, that is session 4.
So, when an unregulated power supply is used, the ripples are filtered from the rectifier output and we get a sufficient steady DC output. So, we have taken AC supply, we have stepped down by using transformer, then by using rectifier, we have converted the bidirectional AC into unidirectional DC. Then by using a filter, we have filtered out the AC components and we got the steady DC, right? But the voltage across the load resistance may change due to because of the supply not does not have a good voltage regulation. If the supply is not having good voltage regulation, then the output voltage decreases. The output voltage decreases as the load current also increases. So the DC output voltage changes with the change in AC input voltage. Therefore, to maintain a constant voltage across the load even when there is a variation in either AC supply voltage or the load current or both, the voltage regulation is necessary. So, why this block is necessary? Because here we are getting, after filter we are getting a steady DC supply, right? But why we require this regulator? If there is a variation in the AC voltage or in the DC, that is the load, then to keep the voltage constant across the load, we require this regulator. So the question comes, need for regulation. Why there is a necessity for a regulator circuit? A power supply with transformer, rectifier and filter is called as unregulated power supply. But its output voltage changes due to two reasons. Why they changes? Fluctuation in the AC main supply or fluctuation in the load, that is load regulation and supply regulation. So to avoid such problem, regulator circuit must be used. It is connected after filter circuit. It maintains the DC voltage across the load constant. So for constant DC, it should not vary. So we use the regulator circuit. Is it clear? Why the need for regulation is needed? See, every time in every power supply, we don't use all these blocks. Depending upon the sophisticated instruments where we are using it for medical purpose, then in laboratory, in industries. So the number of block may change. We may not use the regulator when it is not we don't want a perfect DC, we may not use. We may use only up to filter. Is it clear? So that is.
So let us see the characteristics of power supply. So first characteristics is load regulation. The load regulation or load effect is defined as the change in regulated output voltage when the load current changes from from minimum to the maximum value. So it is given in percentage. The percentage load regulation represented by LR is equal to VNL. VNL is load voltage with no load current minus VFL. VFL is load voltage with full load current upon the VFL, that is load voltage with full load current into 100, because it is always expressed in percentage. So VLR is equals to, or load regulation equal to, VNL minus VFL upon VFL into 100. So where VNL is the load voltage with no load current and VFL is the load voltage with full load current. For a good power supply, the percentage load regulation should be very small. So if you want a good power supply, the percentage regulation, load regulation should be very small. So let us see the next characteristics of power supply, that is line regulation or source regulation. The line regulation, that is source effect, is defined as the change in the regulated load voltage for the specified range of line voltage. Typically 230 volt is our line voltage, plus minus 10%, that much variation is okay. Then the line voltage changes from 207 volt to 253 volt. Clear? So now the output voltage of the power supply is, let us represent by VO1, and suppose that its output voltage changes to VO2. So what is SR? That is the source regulation is equal to VO1 minus VO2. This is actual and this is the change. Therefore, the percentage regulation or source regulation is equals to SR. What is SR? VO1 minus VO2 upon VO1 into 100. Therefore, the percentage SR is equal to SR upon VO1 into 100, where VO1 is nominal load voltage and SR is the change in the load voltage for the full line change. For a good power supply, the percentage SR should be very small. There should not be any more variation in the line voltage. Clear? The next characteristics of the power supply is output impedance. See, the power supply, its own impedance should be less, then only it can able to supply the voltage to the load, the external load. Since the power supply is a source, its output resistance is always minimum for a good power supply. It is called as effective output resistance of the power supply. For a good quality power supply, the value of Z0, that is the output impedance, must be as small as possible. The regulated power supply has typical output impedance in milliohm. So it is very less. Overload protection. So in a power supply, due to the overloading, a large current flows which may damage it. So we should have a overload protection. Overloading can occur due to short circuit or negligible load resistance. If you are connecting very small value of the load resistance also, so in some power supply, the protection is provided against the temporarily overload, and the current limiting technique is used for this purpose. Okay, so power supply is always provided with the overload protection circuit. So the next characteristics of the power supply is ripple rejection, RR. Ripple indicates the change in the input voltage. A voltage regulator reduces the ripple that comes in with the input voltage. So voltage regulator also reduces the ripple in the output voltage which are produced due to change in the input voltage. The ripple rejection is usually specified in decibels. So it is measured in decibel. For example, and ripple rejection of 40 dB, that is decibel, means that the output ripple is 100 times smaller than the input ripple. Is it clear? So we have seen the characteristics of power supply, that is load regulation, line regulation, output impedance, overload protection and ripple resection. Let us see the VI characteristics of Zener diode. We already studied in 11th standard the different types of diode: PN junction diode, Zener diode, light emitting diode. Their symbol. So this is a symbol of a Zener diode. Zener diode is a PN junction diode which is heavily doped. The depletion layer is very narrow, but varying in the doping level, it is possible to produce Zener diode with breakdown voltage from 2 to 200 volts. Zener diode can operate in three regions, that is forward, leakage and breakdown. So in forward region, that is when the anode of the Zener diode is connected to positive and cathode is connected to negative, Zener diode acts like an ordinary junction diode, PN junction diode. It starts conducting at about 0.7 volt. See, it starts the region, so in forward bias. So cutoff is from 0.3 to 0.7. After that it starts increasing in forward bias region. In reverse bias, the region between 0 and breakdown is called as the leakage region. In this region, there is only a small leakage or a reverse current. In a Zener diode, the breakdown has a very sharp knee followed by almost a vertical increase in the current. See, current is increasing vertically. The voltage is almost constant and that is equals to Vz over most of the breakdown region, that is equals to Vz is specified at a particular test current. For the normal operation, the current through the diode should be limited by an external circuit to a suitable value. Otherwise, if the more current flows through the diode may damage. So otherwise a large current can damage the Zener diode. So the voltage is almost constant and that is equals to Vz. So student, when the question comes in the exam, explain the VI characteristics of Zener diode. You have to draw the VI graph, characteristics graph you have to draw and explain the three region: forward region, leakage region and breakdown region. So you have to draw the graph. For this graph, label it properly: the breakdown region, the leakage region and the forward region. Clear? So let's see the rating of the Zener diode. The first, power dissipation, Pz. You already know power. This is the product of voltage and current. That is the current passing through the Zener diode. So Pz is equals to Iz into Vz. As long as the Pz is less than the power rating, that is PZM, power rating of the Zener diode, the Zener diode can operate in breakdown region without being destroyed. So you have to take care that PZ should be always less than the power rating. The power rating may be in the form of 1/4 watt to more than 50 watt. The second rating is maximum current rating, IZM. So this is a maximum current a Zener diode can handle without exceeding its power rating. So this much current can flow without exceeding the power rating. Iz is equals to PZM upon Vz. So where PZM is a power rating and Vz is the Zener voltage. The Zener resistance. The Zener resistance or Zener impedance is specified at the same test current used to measure Vz. So the dynamic impedance Zz is equals to Vz upon Iz. So these are the rating of the Zener diode. So when you purchase a Zener diode, you should look for the specification. What are the power rating, current rating and the resistance. Is it clear? So now we have seen the VI characteristics of Zener diode. Now let us see the Zener diode as voltage regulator. So we have seen the first block transformer, the rectifier, the filter and now the voltage regulator. So we have seen why there is a need for a voltage regulator, because there is a fluctuation due to the AC mains or due to the load current, right? For that we use a voltage regulator. So here we are using a Zener as a voltage regulator. The Zener diode is used to regulate the voltage across the load when there are variation in the supply voltage or the load current. The Zener regulator is connected between the output of the filter and the load. The Zener regulator consists of a current limiting resistance, that is Rs, connected in series with the input, and the Zener diode is connected in parallel with the load resistance RL. It is connected in parallel or in shunt. The Zener diode is in reverse bias. So it is in reverse bias. See here. Now the diode is selected with a breakdown voltage of how much Vz, and this equals to the voltage desired at the load. Okay, so this is a desired voltage at the load, that is RL. So let us see what is the Rs. Rs is equals to applying Ohm's law. So Rs is equals to Vs or V in minus Vz, the voltage across these 2 points, upon the current flowing through Rs. So it is Vs minus Vz upon I. So what is the current? Current where I is the current from the unregulated power supply. I is equals to Vs minus Vz upon Rs, where I is equals to, what is I? I is the total current, see, IL and Iz. So it is a combination of the current flowing through the load and the current flowing through the Zener diode. So I is equals to Iz plus Is. The power dissipation in Zener is given by Pz is equals to Iz into Vz. The power dissipation in the load is equals to IL into Vz. See, same voltage will appear over here because VO is equals to Vz. Output voltage is equals to the voltage across the Zener diode. Clear? So we have seen the VI characteristics of the Zener diode. Now let us see how the Zener diode is used to regulate the input voltage. If there is an increase in the input voltage or increase in the load current, how the output will remain constant. So the Zener diode as voltage regulator. So the effect of the supply voltage variation. When the input voltage changes, here we assume that the load resistance remains constant. So if there are two cases, either the input voltage will increase or the input voltage will decrease. So let us see the first case, when Vi increases. Now when Vi increases, if there is an increase in the input voltage, that is Vi, then the current through the diode, Zener diode, increases and the load current remains constant. So when Vi increases, the current across the Zener diode increases but RL is kept constant. Now this extra voltage drop is dropped across what? Rs. So the extra voltage, the increase in voltage is dropped across Rs, keeping your output voltage constant. So when Vi increases, Vrs increases, Is increases, Iz increases, keeping the Vz constant, that is output constant. So now when Vi decreases, if this decreases, If there is a decrease in the input voltage, the current IZ decreases and the voltage across RS is reduced. So voltage across RS is reduced, and also the load current remains constant. By keeping the load current constant, the output voltage will remain constant. So when Vi increases, Vrs, the voltage drop across the resistance decreases, the current also decreases, and the current across the Zener diode decreases, keeping Vz or Vo constant. So by when the input increases, just by increasing and decreasing the drop across RS, we can keep the voltage constant. So here we use Zener diode to keep the output voltage constant. So that is the effect of supply voltage variation. See student, you should not write, this is just the way to remember how you have to write in the sentence form. When Vi increases, there is a decrease in the voltage across the RS, and the IS, the low current across the Zener diode increases, but the load current remains constant, and therefore the output remains constant. So you have to write in the statement form. Clear? So you have to write both the condition when Vi increases and when Vi decreases. So now let us see the effect of load current. So we have seen the effect of the line supply variation. So now the load current. When the load resistance changes, here we assume that the input voltage is constant. So when input voltage is constant, we are going to see that the output voltage remains constant. So there are again two cases when RL increases or RL decreases. So let us see the cases provided the input voltage remains constant. So when RL increases, when the load resistance increases, the load current decreases. Now see, this decreases, IZ increases, so IZ will increase. So this increases, so IL has to increase, so IZ increases such that Is is kept constant. See, same voltage will appear at the output. So we try to keep the voltage across Rs constant. If the voltage at Rs remains constant, same will appear at the output. So when RL increases, IL decreases, but Vi remains constant. How we keep the Vi constant? This constant, the voltage across the resistance, by increasing the Iz, the increasing current in the across the Zener diode, keeping output constant. So when the RL decreases, so when the Zener diode operate in breakdown region, the Zener voltage Vz remains constant even though the current Iz flowing through it may change. So when there is a reduction in the load resistance, the load current increases, the current Iz decreases, but the same by the same percentage, and Is is kept constant. Therefore, the drop across Rs is kept constant and Vo remains constant. So again, when there is a decrease in the load resistance, IL increases, but we keep this input voltage constant. So the voltage across Rs will remain constant by decreasing the current across Iz, that is across the Zener diode. So the output is kept constant. Therefore, the output voltage remains constant. Clear? So in today's session, we have seen that need for voltage regulation, then the characteristics of power supply, that is load regulation, line regulation, and the ripple rejection. Then we have seen the VI characteristics of Zener diode. Then how the Zener is used as a voltage regulator to keep, either there is a variation, fluctuation in the line voltage or in the load current. By using a Zener diode, we can keep the output voltage constant. So here we came to the end of power supply session 4. Thank you.